Britain's highest court has rejected ISIS bride Shamima Begum's legal bid to return to the United Kingdom. She was stripped of her UK citizenship for joining the Islamic State group in Syria. The ruling comes 6 years after Begum left the UK to join the terror group. Now 21, Begum left her home in East London at the age of 15. She boarded a flight to Turkey with 2 friends and entered Syria to join the Islamic State. And then married an ISIS fighter and had 3 children, all of whom have since died. The case has come to be seen as a test of how the countries treat nationals who joined the jihadists. She garnered a lot of traction as she was seen as a juvenile who was brainwashed into joining ISIS. But in 2019, she told the Times newspaper that she did not regret travelling to Syria, which made some people change their outlook. The same year, Britain revoked her citizenship on national security grounds amid outcry. Begum is currently being held in a camp in Syrian city of Al-Roj. The city is infamously known for its camps with poor conditions. Meanwhile, her husband is reportedly in jail in Syria. The UK government has repeatedly argued that she could claim Bangladeshi citizenship through her mother, but the country's foreign minister has said that he will not consider granting her citizenship. The government lawyer told the Supreme Court in November her return would create an increased risk of terrorism. Since the Islamic State lost its final foothold in Iraq and Syria, more than 60,000 relatives of Islamic State fighters have been detained in camps, like the one Begum is currently in. Lawyers and rights groups have periodically pursued the authorities, pressurizing them to bring them home. But most European governments have resisted such calls, wary of the backlash they could face from the public. Dozens of children and women who remain stranded in the camps have died from malnutrition, hypothermia, and various illnesses. This month, human rights experts at the United Nations urged 57 states, including the UK, to repatriate the families, citing the unclear grounds on which they were detained, so that women like Shamima Begum have a future to look forward to. WION's London Bureau Chief, Mandy Clark, sent us this report from London.
And what's even more surprising about this verdict is ultimately it has made Shamima Begum stateless. And that was the biggest issue that they had, that although she was born of Bangladeshi descendants, so she might have been eligible, she wasn't a dual national. She only had a British passport. So human rights groups said you can't go around and just, when people act up in different countries, to make them stateless. That was their argument, because now she is of no state. She will remain in a Syrian refugee camp. The government effectively argued that since she was eligible for Bangladeshi citizenship, they were not making her stateless. She had another option, and thus they stripped her of her nationality. It is the Supreme Court that is holding it up. And what's also interesting, Brexit comes into play here. Of course, if we were still within the European Union, she would still have one more ability to appeal, and that would be through the European Courts of Justice. Now that Britain is no longer a part of the EU, this is the final say. So it is going to be also precedent setting. As you know, lots of countries looking, can you take a citizen and make them stateless? In the UK, you can.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.